Nice performance there. So last week we had the question, does longevity guarantee happy marriage? And now we have another question, right? And of course, doing justice to that particular question, or the question we have today, is none other than the Secret Place wife herself, Olabisi Soetan, who definitely is a coach on several relationship levels and emotional levels as well. And today, the question we have is, what is our question for today? Let's start from there.
Is love organic or intentional?
Okay, so should love be organic or intentional? Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria once again. I love your outfits.
Thank you.
They're nice and pretty. Okay, so now this particular question we have, what is your general take on it?
Well, my general take would be that love should be intentional.
Okay.
Not to say that it cannot be organic, but the idea that anything is even organic might be a bit of an overstretch because what we're literally saying is that something is happening to us without me being aware. But the truth is, if you recall how you fell in love, while it may appear that, oh,
It was not intentional. It was intentional.
catches your fancy, but there's something responsible for that reaction.
Yeah.
You're just not paying attention to it.
Okay.
Now, if you pay attention to it, the idea of intentional is, can it be recreated?
Okay.
You see what I mean? So while something may seem organic, right, the truth is mentally there's something going on. There are cues, there are triggers, there are things responsible for why that thing is happening.
It's happening.
So the idea of intentional is now to say, okay, can this be reproduced for longevity, so that love is sustained?
It's sustained. Okay, so now my question happens to be, why is it that it's easier, right, in the earlier stages, right? So initially it seems organic, or it happens organically, right? So why is it that it's easier in that time for everything to flow, for the person to get everything right, dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and then eventually the intentionality now makes it seem like it gets more, tedious. Why?
Tedious, right? It now feels like work.
Like work, exactly.
Yes. Now, the thing is, when we first, meet somebody and we say, oh, we love them, what we really should be asking ourselves is, do I love this person or do I love me?
Okay.
They tick my boxes, they make me happy. There's something about them that fulfills an expectation. So there's an idea of this person that I've crafted to say, be this way, never change. Now, of course, when you get into a long-term relationship, there's the proximity, there's the frequency of just, the offense, the interactions. And of course, you're going to see differences. You're going to see like things that you don't like. Now, when that begins to happen, your brain goes into this self-preservation mode. Oh my God, please don't change. This is who I want you to be. These are my expectations. Fulfill them. And once your brain is in that self-preservation mode, it doesn't necessarily think about the other person, which is where we started from in the first place. So it becomes work when you now come to me as a coach and I tell you, oh, how about you think about this? Instead of thinking, oh, this person is so different from me. How about you think they're not wrong, they're just different. But they're going to be wrong because you have established the
right in your head.
So that's why it feels like work, because now I'm challenging you to task your brain, to think and to challenge yourself to say, okay, you know what is it about me? What is it about this person? And how can we coexist?
Now that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, but this now brings a question to mind. So I get what you're saying, right? In the beginning stages, I mean, if you meet a guy, the guy is doing everything to make you happy, and maybe you're doing everything to make the guy happy. So everybody is feeling happy and okay, right? So eventually, everybody normalizes to their normal lives, and then they are now probably focusing on their own goals and their own dreams. It's not like, okay, fine, you've changed. So now the issue, you said now, do you love the person or you love me? So now, you know how a lot of people talk about how to even get to love someone, you have to love yourself. So when you're looking for a partner, you should be looking, I don't know, does the person tick your boxes, or does the person tick, I don't know, do you like their personality? So for you now, what would you say it should really be? So should you be looking out for someone that makes you feel a certain way about yourself, or for someone who in themselves have qualities that you like?
Obviously, there are certain conditions that have to be met before you can say, okay, you know what, I certify this person to be able to spend the rest of my life with them. But the challenge is that while those conditions are natural, they're okay, when we get married, the intimacy deepens and it attempts to push you into the unconditional. Kind of like when you have children. You love your children, you love yourself, you know. People would tell mothers, eat the last bit of the apple. Don't give it to your child. You matter too. But, you know, there's something that pushes you to say, you know what, why don't I do the best for this child? Because I want to see them laugh.
True.
So the intimacy deepens, attempting to push you into an unconditional place. Because at the end of the day, the unconditionality is what creates the commitment over a long period of time. So what happens is that while you are dating somebody or looking to date somebody, by all means, be aware of what your conditions are. What are you looking to tick? But don't also kind of like be ignorant or naive about the fact that that's going to take some work once you get into the relationship. It's going to take some commitment from you and an understanding of what it means to devote yourself to somebody.
Okay.
That way, you would already start the process with the idea that you will be intentionally recreating all of those things in the long term.
Amazing. That actually makes a whole lot of sense. So now let's go back to the intentionality. So now, what are these things we need to be intentional about in the long run?
Now, typically, the magic ratio for having a successful marriage is 5 positive interactions to 1 negative interactions, according to
the magic ratio.
Gottman's research.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you think about it, now, if you and I live together, the likelihood that we're going to get 5 positive interactions to 1 negative interaction is very hard. It's really slim because we're 2 different people. The more likelihood that I would see you wake up in the morning and see your differences and see the wrong is higher. As human beings, we are wired to see the negatives first.
Sure.
So in terms of being intentional, you must understand what it takes to make your marriage successful.
Okay.
And then create habits, things that you can repeat over a period of time, maybe like hugging each other, making sure you resolve your conflicts as friends, no name calling, no finger pointing, no blaming. All of these things must be incorporated for it to be intentional.
So those are the intentional things we need to actually do. So we have to create time for intentionality.
Absolutely.
Very interesting and very spot on. Thank you so much for being here. Very insightful conversation.
Thank you.
And of course, I'm sure you learned a thing or two. Don't worry. She'll be here again next week. So make sure you keep on watching right here. Right now, we have to go on a quick break. We'll be back.